Welcome to People Doing Good for Others, where we praise and hold in the light and celebrate the lives of those who are truly making significant differences in our communities. I'm Gary York, and I'm grateful to be here. We want to thank Wilkes Communications, RiverStreet Productions, and 100.9 WIFM for this opportunity. And thank you again for joining us. Our featured guest is Tabitha Hudler. She's an 8-year veteran at Wilkes Community College. She's involved in business production and artist and management of the Walker Center. And thank you so much for the honor of having you with us. And tell us about coming to Wilkes, if you will, to start, and maybe meeting Ted Hageman and some of those wonderful people.
Okay, I sure will. I'm grateful to be here as well. Thank you for having me. Basically, after college, I had decided to definitely go ahead and get into a career setting. I was planning a wedding and such, so needed that extra money, and started off my career at Lowe's Companies and had a great time there. Just realized it wasn't for me, and so I ventured out into other Wilkes County jobs because I knew I wanted to stay close by. I was a Wilkes County native and love it here. So I had the opportunity to apply for a job at Wilkes Community College, which was the event specialist position. That is what I started as, and it worked out beautifully. It was a definite blessing. Been there almost 8 years. That will be in September. And since then I have from event specialist went to lead event specialist, and now the senior business operations specialist. So continuing to grow my career path there. I enjoy it so much. And Ted was such a mentor when I started. He still is. He's always fair, compassionate. He listens, which is very important. And it's just a great opportunity to be able to work at Wilkes Community College.
Tabitha Hudler, you told me about the interview that it was just a good fit. Expand on that a little bit.
You know, when you go somewhere and it just feels right. That's really what it felt like when I went in for my interview. I was a little hesitant to start with because it was definitely out of my comfort zone. Wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but I got there and they immediately made me feel comfortable. There were several people in the room. I'm thinking around 8 different people at the time asking questions, but it just flowed. The conversation flowed easily, and I knew that it felt different, and I knew that that was something I wanted to be a part of.
And you also added that you think a significant skill for you is you're a good listener.
I do think that. Listening in our field is very important because you deal with so many different personalities and perspectives. The customer always being the important person there. We want to hear them out from start to finish. Every person has a story, and it's not just my opinion that matters. It's a collaboration of that. I think that some of those skills came from my very first job, which was at Lowe's, and learning to deal with customer service because I was in the complaint department, moving into some different roles after that. But that really helped me to differentiate between the personalities, and also my son, who we had talked about a little before, who is autistic, definitely I have to listen to him because it just takes a lot of patience and perseverance and understanding, and you see people in a whole different light when they have to communicate in a different way. So listening, I do think, is one of our top qualities at the Walker Center and at the college.
And you have a deep sense of empathy too. I think you have a nice feel for other people. So that's a huge skill there too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just an overview of the office area and the folks who might be there, and a little bit about what goes on in your role.
Right. Well, there's many hats that we all wear during the normal business day. At the Walker Center, I do serve as the box office manager. I deal with all the incoming and outgoing bills, work with the artist contracts, work with the artist personally. When they come on site, we want to make sure that they're taken care of to the best of our abilities. And you know, that entails just a lot of different things. We're always busy. A lot of people think during the summer months that's our off season, but really we're selling new season tickets to the season that we're going to start in September. We're preparing for these conferences that we go to in the fall. We're getting ready for Merle Fest. We actually start ticket sales for our top patrons in August. So all of that just continually flows throughout the year, and there's really no downtime.
Ms. Hudler, when we think about Wilkes Community College, the Merle Fest, and then the series, does it have a particular title, those monthly presentations?
Yes, it's our Walker Center season.
Walker Center season.
Yes, and so we had, in the past few weeks, been working with the people who already had those season tickets and renewing their orders. We have several of those commitments, and then right now we're working on our new season tickets if they're interested in purchasing those, and then we'll be selling the individual tickets coming soon as well. You also had asked about how many people it takes typically in our area. Yes. And we work in a team of 17 to 18, fluctuating. Again, everybody has totally different personalities and interests, but it's a mesh of fitting personalities that we just bring everything to life. And in the end, you can sit back and think, you know, that's what we've accomplished.
Tell us about the annual conference.
Mm-hmm. As we're preparing right now for that, it does happen at the end of September every year. Along the East Coast is the one we participate in, but that doesn't mean that it's only people from those locations that come. There's people from all over the world, all over the U.S. It's under one large building, usually a convention center of some type. And since I have started working at the college, I've been to Miami, Baltimore, Orlando, Atlanta. We're going back to Atlanta this year. We've been to Nashville, so various places along the East Coast. Actually, my first time flying was to Miami, so that was quite an adventure in itself. That was the first conference I ever went to, so there was a lot of firsts going on there and a lot of nerves too. But
I bet.
Yeah, we made it through.
Ms. Hudler, this annual conference, we're scouting talent. Mm-hmm. Is that a good way to put it?
It is. It sure is. For
the series, for the Walker series.
That's exactly right. So what we'll be doing in September is going to search talent for the 2018-19 season. Also, we look for Merle Fest talent. We look for school show talent because we have a series on that as well. In this prep time, what we're doing is seeing what agencies are going to be there, who's going to be represented. With doing that, we always have the typical ones that we like to visit because we've worked with them before.
Okay.
But we also like to see new things that are coming. And they will show that they have juried showcases or individual talent showcases, and that's what we try to plan for. So when we go to these conferences, we already have a set schedule of who we're meeting, what time we're meeting, how long we're meeting, and it's a constant. I refer to it as speed dating as a joke because you're in that moment, you're listening, you've got to take it all in with those 10 to 15 minute increments because there's so much stuff there to take in. And then you're like, wow, at the end, what all did I hear? But luckily, we've got very organized notes and we sit down and we talk it through. Typically, Ted and I attend those conferences together and we split it up, and then at the end of the day, we'll come back together and talk it through. And then this year, we're actually taking the box office assistant with us, Angela Johnson. So we're going to have some more help there and kind of show her around and let her experience that, so that we hit even more agencies and bring back information from that. So after that conference is complete, we gather all those details, the data that we took in, and we divide that into different categories. And then we present that to a committee, which we have internal and external committee members that come together.
Explain that.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
On our internal committee, we have 7 people that work at the inside of our college on our team. Externally, they're members of your community, members of the community here that have a voice, that also listen to other customers and feedback from our season ticket holders, because that's who we're trying to please.
From last year, probably.
Right. So it's a really good mix of people, good age differences, because we have to hit on several different age brackets. Our season ticket holders right now mainly make up the 60 to 70-year-old age
That's
bracket.
good to know.
Yes. And then we do have some 50 to 60 that are a large portion of that as well. Our goal is to keep those people happy and bring in new faces, because we do want people to know what the community center is all about.
The size of the center?
Yeah, we've got 1,100 seats. It's 33,000 square feet. Not only are we working on season shows, but last year alone we had over 272 events at the Walker Center. So
how many?
272.
Wow.
Yeah, people use it for various things. They use it for business meetings, weddings, just corporate events. Our school uses it quite frequently for different testing sites. It's very versatile. It can turn into a dance studio. We got a lot of dancers that come and use it, that rent the facility. It's just amazing how it turns over so quickly too. We got a great staff that does that. So
you have 600 or 700 season ticket holders, and we need, and it's 11 capacity, 1,100.
Right. So last year we ended up at 741 season ticket holders out of our 1,100 seats, and that is a huge commitment on their part and a blessing for our part. Without those season ticket holders, we couldn't continue to supply those season shows. Yes. And it's a big part of that. They do know the season before they commit to those seats, which is a plus for them. At every last season show of the year, which happens in May, we announce what's coming up for the next season. So we've got somebody working on that video to show our customers what we're going to be presenting for that following year.
Is it a good time to talk about the shows coming up this year?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's do that.
Sure. All right, so our first season show is going to be Thursday, September 21st, and John Michael Montgomery, who's a 90s country singer, very popular in that day. I know several of the songs because I grew up listening to him. He'll be joining us for the first time at the Walker Center, so we're excited to kick that off. Then we go straight into October 20th. We're going to have the Doo-Wop Project. The Doo-Wop Project is going to bring 50s and 60s music to the Walker Center. They're very audience involved. I've seen this show in person, got to see it at one of the conferences, and I said, people won't know the name, but they'll know the music, and they're going to love it, and I think it's going to be a real fun night. Then we have the special opportunity, which we don't get to do a lot of, Broadway shows. And as you know, Broadway shows are enormous. They're huge. They require a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of people working. So we were fortunate enough to get Dirty Dancing this year, and it's going to happen November the 10th. It is the 30th anniversary year for the movie, so it's a special year. We're looking so forward to it.
Boy, I'd love to be there for that.
Yeah, we'll welcome you there.
Thank you.
We will probably be dancing in the back if you want to join us. So After that, we're going to go into the Christmas season. December 1st, we're going to kick it off with Ernie Hawson's Signature Sound. They are very popular in the gospel world. Southern gospel got their start, Ernie did, as the Cathedrals. So he's married to one of the gentleman's daughters there. And we had them in our 16-17 season singing classical hits from Broadway musicals, but this time they're going to be doing just a Christmas performance with all the traditional songs that we know and love and can relate to, and really get us feeling like the Christmas spirit.
Wow.
After Christmas, we're going to have a little bit of a break there, a little lull, and we're going to jump into March, March the 16th, and it's going to be one night in Memphis. And one night in Memphis is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be with Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Elvis, and Johnny Cash, just as they were in the Sun Studios, singing all their favorite hits and bantering back and forth. So we're looking forward to that. And then the very last show will be May 17th, which is going to be The Heart Behind the Music. And a little bit about that is it's a songwriters showcase. They're going to be singing songs that they wrote, that they may not have sang in their particular groups, but they made famous, and give us a little bit of background of why those music and those songs came to their mind. We've got Teddy Gentry, who's with the group Alabama. We have Kim Carnes, and we have John Ford Coley that'll be doing the show that night. And they're going to be on stage at the same time, just going back and forth with their songs that we know so well. And then we'll be announcing the next season. So
Wow.
it's a lot going on.
Tabitha Hudler, thank you so much. You can remember all of those, and that's how wonderful. You know, I was thinking a minute ago, there's not a county community in North Carolina that has two auditoriums like we have at the Walker Center,
Right.
and at the Stone Center.
Yeah.
Two just wonderful, wonderful opportunities. And you said, again, 273
events.
a year.
Yep.
How about that?
And, you know, that varies from year to year. Some we have more, not much less than that. So averaging out, there's very few days off in a year. Not everybody has to be at every event, but still, it's a lot going on. And state-of-the-art facilities, you know, you can't just get that anywhere without going out of town and driving a distance. And I think some people just don't even realize the opportunity that's here.
How about the behind-the-scenes technicians, maybe, that work with the incoming groups
Yeah.
about the setup? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've got a great group of people. Melanie Podbilski actually is our leader for that. She is a wonderful technician. We get nothing but good compliments from the artist and the artist management that's with them. Flawless, you know, they come in, they tell her what they need, they tell her what they want. She gets it done with her staff, and it's just a great turnaround. They may have an event that night and then have one the next morning, so it takes a lot of organization to know what needs to be changed within that time frame.
Tabitha, you are dedicated to Wilkes Community College and the Walker Center, and those have an opportunity for people to come in and do virtually anything they want to on that stage. Is that kind of how you see it?
It is. Every event is your own event. We like to make it as unique to the customer as we can. And of course we have our standards that we have to follow, but we want each event for that person to feel like that was the only one that there ever was. So that leave a good feeling so that maybe, you know, they'll spread the word and someone else will come join us.
A warm, unique feeling. You also talked about having dinner opportunities for some of your sponsors.
We do. Before the season show, we have a dinner. It usually seats 260 to 270 people. That's the capacity of our ballroom. It's a wonderful meal that's served. We have a actual chef and the staff that works for that. And we didn't get that renovation until the year 2000. The Walker Center expanded, and we had actually a $1.9 million renovation, and we were able to have a full-service kitchen. And it is amazing when you go in there. Patsy Church is our chef. She has it so organized, and people just follow right under her lead. It sometimes, when I think about feeding 260 people,
Sure.
I would get very nervous. I like to cook and host things, but not for that many people. But she just has it down to an art. And every meal they have prime rib and another meat, and then they have several vegetables to choose from, and my favorite, dessert. It's just amazing at what she pulls together. So that's an opportunity for our season ticket holders. Each year they have that opportunity to renew if they want to do that. And typically we have no seating available because they do sell out. We are taking a wait list for those, so if anyone's interested in doing it, we'd be glad to put you down. Things do change, things happen, and even if you just want to maybe put it down for one show, if there's someone that can't come, then we're able to sell that for that particular person. So
Thank you.
yeah.
I was so interested in the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Meet and greets are really a cool opportunity. Most of our artists will allow that to happen. All I do is just kind of work with their management staff and say, are they willing to do a meet and greet for a couple of our customers? Most of them will say, sure, we'll do it 10, 15 minutes before the show. It's usually quick, but what a great opportunity for a customer that's paying to come see a show to be able to meet that individual artist as a one-on-one time. And, you just make people's day. I love to call people and say, you were selected in our database to be able to meet this artist. Would you like to do that? And people are just stunned. They're like, really? Is this really true? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so we just have them meet us, and we take them backstage, and they get to have photo op usually, and it's just a really, really neat thing for a customer.
How about your website?
Yep, our website is actually being renovated as well, and it's going to be beautiful.
Wow.
They are working so hard. Our marketing team has done a great job with it. And at the end of August, you'll see some changes on that, but it is walkercenteronline.org. You can go on there at any time, and you can see the video of the shows that we're presenting this year.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
a preview.
Right, a preview.
Wow.
So if you're not sure of something, we've tried to put a snippet of everything in there so that you won't be surprised of what you're purchasing. And then it also gives pricing information and show dates and times. All of our shows start at 7:30. We started that last year with our doors opening at 7. The exception of our Broadway show will start at 8 o'clock this year, so we're trying to get the word out for that, and that way people will know, but it does say it on their tickets when they purchase it.
You want to switch the time to,
Sure.
Have we covered enough of that to go to Merlefest?
Yeah, I was going to mention one more thing. Yeah.
One other thing. I sense after being with you today that there's a culture there about being innovative, being opportunistic, or staying out in front of folks who are always going to have a little something extra. Talk about that.
Proactive thinking is definitely a goal that we have to keep after.
Easy to say, hard to do.
Yes, it is. And being that we have such strict timelines to follow, it helps us to stay on those targets. We do have a timeline. Each person has one that we follow every year, and if things need to be changed or tweaked, we work on that. Another thing that's really important to us and a passion of mine is the school shows that we have.
Yes.
And the family shows. we were fortunate enough for the past few years to have an evening performance for families that's very, very affordable. We try to keep that at $5 for kids that are 10 and under, and $12 for adults. So it's a good night of family fun. It's an hour-long show. They can come and eat pizza, hot dogs, various fun, friendly things beforehand. We've had things like the Berenstain Bears, Curious George, Popovich Pet Theater, you know, all kinds of fun things. And this year we're going to have one in February, which is The Cat in the Hat, a very, very fun childhood book and story. And throughout the year, we start our school series in September, and it will go through March. And we hit on each grade level, K through 8, in the fall and in the spring. So each one can have that opportunity to come. Wilkes County works with us so well, and we love the relationship and partnership with them. They have the information of what's to come and put those reservation requests in ahead of time. And then we also work with surrounding counties so that they know what Wilkes County has to provide, and they can take that back to other people in their areas.
The series, those who are committed to the Walker Center as you, and great opportunities that we have. Now let's go to the Merle Fest. You also help out there.
Yes, for Merle Fest, again, I serve as the box office manager. I do all the on-site sales, the balancing every day, bank deposits. It's a constant, you know, just not a lot of downtime at Merle Fest. Even before Merle Fest gets here, it's really busy. But also I work with the Merle Fest gift shop and serve as the leader for that. And for our Merle Fest Platinum, Gold, and Lifetime patrons, I manage that. So ahead of time, we get all those ticket sales renewed, reserved seats, backstage access, parking. It's a great opportunity. This past year, we actually sold through every package we had for the first time ever.
Wow.
And it was our 30th celebration. It was a huge year. Wonderful attendance, great opportunity for people. And people in our county and our community a lot of times don't take advantage of that because they just don't know what it's for. And you know, Ted will talk to you a little later about what it is, but it is our largest fundraiser. Without Merle Fest, we would not be able to have some of these wonderful buildings that we have, right, or being able to renovate, or, you know, for our students is what it's for.
It's changing lives, Ted says.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
As we come close to the end, we want to thank Wilkes Communications and RiverStreet Productions and 100.9. There's a great team concept with your group.
Yes.
I sense that, and you even talked about having lunch together. Mm-hmm. Would that be a good way for you to kind of wind down for us?
Yes. Our team is just like family. We're together sometimes more than we are with our own families, but you know, we just have a special bond that we may have a tiff, we may get in a little heated discussion, but in the end, you come together and you come to a consensus and you see what you put together, and then you're like brothers and sisters again and you love each other. And if anybody else says anything, you better watch out, you know. That's the kind of concept it is, and we joke with our different roles that we have within our team. Family dynamics. So it is a great place to work. I enjoy going to work every day, and not everybody can say that. It does get stressful at times, but it's a good stress. It keeps me busy and active, and I appreciate the opportunity. And I really am thankful for being able to come here today, for you inviting us, for the radio station, for Wilkes Communications. It's just been a pleasure.
We're honored to have you, and the Wilkes Community College, the Walker Center, the Merle Fest, such an important part of my life. And I'm a better person as the more I get to know, and look forward to maybe being a season ticket holder before this is over. So tell us, close with how you balance life with family and this outstanding career, and Tyler, and
Yeah.
just a little bit of that, if you will.
Yeah. It is a juggle, you're right. Typically my day will start around 4:45 a.m. and go till at least 10:30 at night. In the middle of that, I, of course, have my child, get him ready for school. Love spending time with him and all of his creativity. My husband and I try to do as much with him as we can, and that's great because we do have jobs within the county, and that makes it a little easier for us. Throughout the day, work definitely, then big on exercise after work because it makes me a better mom when I get home. And then just having family time, just cooking dinner together, keeping God as our first priority is our biggest thing, and He helps everything else fall into place.
Thank you for blessing us today, Tabitha Hudler, a significant contributor at the Walker Center, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I
Thank you so
very
much, Gary.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.